You don't know what's in it. It's like the most fun phrase. We used to do ecstasy in high school all the time. Yeah, not Molly, not that pussy shit you guys do today. Dude, we did Drano, dude. We did Drano drips.
I started doing comedy when I was 13, and I discovered like I got really into psychedelic drugs. So that just exacerbated like the general existential wave of I felt like I was peeling back the wallpaper on reality, and I was just seeing this very flimsy scaffolding holding everything up, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, you suddenly realize like your parents are flawed, you know, your teachers are like lonely or something. I remember being like, I think Miss Buchanan's lonely. I feel a huge amount of pressure to laugh at her jokes, and I don't know. But, and yeah, I remember being really stressed by being like, why don't we as a society talk more about the fact that the movie Ants and the movie A Bug's Life came out in the same year? Surely powerful forces are at play here, and we're just not gonna address it? Like, what the?
My wife's honest with them. She's honest. 100% honest all the time. The other night we're at dinner, I'm 3 drinks in, the girls go, have you guys ever done drugs? I'm like, what are you, fucking cops? She just goes, yeah. I go, what the fuck are you doing? She goes, you gotta be honest with them girls. I smoked marijuana a couple times. I didn't like it very much. Made me throw up, never smoked it again. But your daddy's done cocaine. I go, what the fuck? I don't think they're looking for recommendations, Leanne. She's like, go and tell him. Go and tell him. Tell him. Tell him the truth now. I was like, okay, I tried cocaine one time. I didn't like it very much. Made me throw up, never did it again. And I hear her fucking laughing. She goes, that's a lie, your daddy's done cocaine a lot. I was like, well, your mom lost her virginity when she was 13. Go ahead, tell him that story, yeah.
Yeah, it was a gay cruise. It was me and 6,000 other gay men from all over the world and 32 very sad women. And it was so inspiring to me. I have to tell you, I've never seen so many different men come from so many different walks of life, so many different cultures, so many different perspectives, and all come together and rally behind one goal, which was to smuggle so many drugs onto this boat. It was truly unlike anything I'd ever seen before. All my friends were there, the hallucinogens, the amphetamines, the opiates, everybody came. I did almost get tricked into doing meth on the very first night. Yeah, I know, what an amazing prank. But yeah, it was a very simple story. Basically what happened is this, is I met these 2 gentlemen from East London on the very first night, and they were like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry, I won't, I refuse. But these guys, they were like, hey, do you want to come back to our room and do drugs? And I was like, babe, we're at sea, let's go. You know, like, maritime law says I must accept. So I got back to the room and I was like, what's on the menu? What are we doing tonight? And they're like, it's meth. And I was like, oh. See, I was sort of saving that one for my 40s. So I'm gonna go leave that one for the bucket list. And they're like, no, Joel, it's meth. And I was like, I know. I just said no to that. And they're like, no, meth. And I was like, again, no. And they were like, meth. And I was like, stop. And they were like, meth. And I was like, this is the worst reboot of Who's on First ever. I don't understand how we got stuck in this time loop. And they finally had to spell it out for me because of their goofy little accents. They were like, no, Joel, it's MEPH, meth. You don't have this drug in America yet. And I was like, okay, hand it over. So I did this mystery drug. I had the time of my goddamn life. I danced the night away. The next morning, we port in Italy. I get service back on the old phone. And I was like, let me Google this meth shit and figure out why we don't have it in America and what I can do to bring it there. And I've got some good news and I've got some bad news for you guys. The good news is, we do have it in America. The bad news is we call it bath salts here. Yeah, so it was sort of a lateral move for me in terms of the drugs I did and didn't want to do on the ship. But here's the thing about bath salts, you guys, that you're probably not hearing about in the news. The mainstream media is not covering this. I loved it. It's so much fun. It is a blast. Oh my God, everybody should try it. In fact, look under your chairs.
And so I want to talk to you about something really important. And I know a lot of you won't like me talking about this, but I had something come into my life that throughout my life I've always rejected. And this has changed, has given me weed. How fucking good is weed? I had no idea. It was a drug that I just never did. I was doing cocaine and all pills and all this fucking shit. I never touched weed. I was like, I might get a bit paid. It's the fucking best. I never want to drink again, man. I don't want to drink. I much prefer being high. I don't drink no more. I'm high and dry, baby. High and dry. I get stoned. I take an edible every fucking day. I'm a fucking koala, man. So every day, I drop my kid at school, and I take an edible, then I play Call of Duty for about 5 hours. All right? Play Call of Duty. And my wife will come in, I'll be sitting there stoned playing Call of Duty, and she'll come in, and she'll walk, and she'll sit down next to me, and she'll go, do you want to fuck? And I'll be like, Team deathmatch. And then she'll look up at me with the eyes. Oh, I can't say no to her, so I'm like this. Now get out of here, you. And she's happy with that. That helps her move on with her day.
And I just was like, okay, I'll just work out. But I never stopped smoking weed. I was just like, I'll just keep smoking weed while working out. And I just got more and more anxious and like working out more and more and just being like, why isn't it working? And like smoking huge hits of weed and then going to the gym and like huffing and puffing and lifting my 2-pounders. And just being like, what the fuck? Like, why am I lifting these 2-pounders? Like, why am I even trying to change my body at all? My body is beautiful. Like, I hate this industry that I work in. They're trying to make my body look like the body of like Billy Elliot or something, and just like, fuck them for trying to fuck with my holy life cycle. And like, patriarchy is fucking with me so hard that I feel it in my spirit. My spirit is in my pussy, and my pussy hurts so badly. This gym is hurting my fucking pussy. And then it was like, why does my pussy hurt so much? And then it was like, oh my God, I'm on drugs and my thong's on backwards.
I like to be as stoned as possible when I sleep at night, just in case anything goes down. Just in case there's a burglary or an intruder or a rapist, I want to sleep through that attack. I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night looking for a steak knife or a panic button and fight off somebody. I want to slowly pass away while that attack is happening. If Michael Jackson's doctor were still a doctor, he would be my doctor. So I go to sleep, I drift off into La La Land. I wake up to a sound I had never heard before, like a coyote was in my bedroom. That's what it sounded like. And I turn the light on and I look and I see one of my dogs wrapped around the new dog Hodor like a shapeshifter. And at first I couldn't tell if it was Bert or Bernice, and then I realized it was Bernice because she was still in a yellow negligee I had put her in the night before. And her eyes were bloodshot and red, just like Michael Jordan's in his documentary. And she looked like she may have put on a little lipstick too. And she was biting Hodor's neck. I'm like, oh my God, she's winning. And I got out of bed, I grabbed my daughter and threw her across the room into my closet. And then I shut the closet door, and then Hodor's coming for us. And I fought him off and then guided him out of my bedroom door and shut that door. And then I go back into my bedroom and just collapse. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so high. What was that? Who were those people? And then I looked down and my breast was exposed. And my nipple was bleeding. And I checked to make sure it was still attached. And I thought, I'll deal with this tomorrow.
And so I got heavily into drugs, and the bullet points are, I went from like psychedelics into like the really bad ones. I got kicked out of my house, I dropped out of school. Fast forward, I ended up in rehab. When I was 19, I went to a rehab day program for 9 months. A rehab day program for teens, objectively a bad idea. Like, well, in a way, right? Like you get a group of teenagers together, all they have in common is they love doing drugs. Every day at 3 p.m. the bell goes and you're like, off you go with your new friends. Run along, bond in the alleyways. The only way you know how.
I have an addictive personality, you know? I like to push it, I do. My tolerance for weed and alcohol right now is way too high. I'm trying to bring it down. My friend recently told me about a drug called DMT. It's a very powerful hallucinogenic that's supposed to give you a sense of what death will be like. And I'm open-minded enough to maybe try it once or twice, but I'm wary that I would never want to develop a tolerance to DMT, because what if one day I just died naturally? 45 minutes later, I'm like, bro, I'm not feeling it. What's going on, man? We're gonna get dead or not? I can't just lay here all day. This is weak stuff, man. Can you imagine being dead and unimpressed?
So I've been up for 3 days on this stag do, and I'm in Berlin Airport on the way home, and I'm stood in the queue for airport security, and I put my hand into my pocket to take out my passport, and instead, I withdraw a single edible weed gummy. Oh dear. I look around for someone to dispose of this thing. There is nowhere in immediate sight. For a brief moment, and it crossed my mind for like a second, I looked in front of me, and there was a child with an open backpack. I didn't, because I'm not a monster, and I couldn't distract his mum. So I was like, reluctantly, I think this is going to have to go down the hatch. So I swallow this thing. Now, I'm a little bit of a novice when it comes to the old edible marijuana. These things are incredibly strong. It hit me like a fucking freight train. By the time I was at the front of this queue, I was so high, I could have flown home without the aid of an aeroplane. I knew I was in serious trouble when I was stood in the body scanning machine, legs akimbo, arms aloft. I was like, why is it not scanning you? It's not scanning you because it knows that you've got drugs in your belly, you naughty boy. I then realized that the actual reason it wasn't scanning me is because I was stood, legs akimbo, arms aloft, in a regular metal detector. It was at that point that I heard a German voice shouting at me from behind, "Das ist verboten!" Now, I'm no linguist, but I was pretty certain it wasn't the German for, "Have a nice day, the lounge is over there." I turned around, the security official is pointing very aggressively at my midriff region and shouting something in German. I realized with hindsight, he was pointing at my belt. He wanted me to take my belt off. Unfortunately, I was so high, I didn't even realize I was wearing a belt. For some reason, in that moment, I thought that he was pointing at my trousers, and I thought that he wanted them off. I was like, wow, these German security officials are awfully thorough. But I went to a Catholic boarding school. If a figure of authority tells you to drop them, you fucking drop them. So in the middle of Berlin Airport, I began to slowly start pulling down my trousers. He did not like that one bit. If anything, it made him even angrier. He started shouting more. He was like, "Open! Open!" I've Googled it. It's the German word for up, as in pull your trousers up. I don't speak German. I thought he'd shouted open. I was like, this has escalated. The most worrying element of this story is quite how compliant I was. I thought in that moment that a security official wanted to anally cavity search me in front of everyone in the airport, and I put up no protest whatsoever. He literally just had to shout, "Open," once, and I was assuming the position, preparing for entry. Well, if that's the way it's gotta go, Fritz, that's the way it's gotta go. Stick a pinky in there first if you would. Call me old-fashioned, but I need to be wooed.